Hey, this is Randy at Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we're going to talk about how much $5,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds is for a 60-year-old male. Now, first thing to keep in mind is you can go directly to our website and just click on our quoter, and you can get pricing on anything you want. Just click on it. You get 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever it would be. Also, in the comments section of this video, we will include a special URL for our YouTube visitors. That's going to be funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And you can click on that. It'll take you to a page on our website. We've got special discounts for you there as well. You can also call our toll-free number. It's in the upper right-hand side of our website, 888-862-9456. So let's get started here. First thing we should talk about is $5,000 even adequate for your burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds needs? Well, if you're having a cremation, $5,000 would probably be appropriate. The average cost of a cremation in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to have a fancy ceremony or just a remembrance of life or celebration of a life ceremony, that's probably going to bring it up to $3,500, $4,500. So that $5,000 is still enough. The average amount we help people, depending on their unique situation and what they want done, is somewhere between $3,000 to $7,000, with $5,000 being kind of the sweet spot for most people. Remember, if you need more coverage later, you can always add more coverage. But again, that $5,000 should cover that, and leave a little bit extra just in case there's any funeral or final expense or, medical bills or anything like that. Now let's talk about $5,000 for burial. Well, $5,000 was not going to cover the cost of a burial. The average cost of a burial in the United States right now is around $10,000. It's not going to be anything fancy, but if you walk into a funeral home with a check for $10,000, they should accommodate you. Now, you could also be looking at just getting $5,000 to add to some existing coverage. Well, that would be appropriate. If you had already had a $10,000 policy and you thought that was enough when you got it, and but by the grace of God, you've lived many years, and now you know that it's probably not, and you should have some more, you might want to add some more coverage. So we can easily add $5,000. That would give you a total of $15,000 between the two policies, and you would probably be okay. The average amount that we help people with for at least for a burial is somewhere between $10,000 to $15,000, because we make it really easy to add more coverage later if that's what you want to do. So if you're on a tight budget, just get a little bit lower amount. What we do is we help people with first day coverage. So that's the most important thing, is to make sure that if God forbid something happened today, this would be taken care of so your family wouldn't have to pay those bills tomorrow. And with first day coverage, you can do that. And the difference is first day coverage means if you died today and you had your policy in place a week or so ago, or even a day ago, the policy would pay out. There's a lot of plans out there that are mandatory 2-year waiting periods, that if you died of any health or medical reason in the first 2 years, they're not going to pay out a penny. They would just return the payments or the premiums that you put in plus a small percentage amount. And of course, that's not what you want. You want first day coverage. Now, there are health questions with the first day coverage, but 95% of the people we help are going to qualify for that first day coverage. Kind of some of the reasons you wouldn't qualify are if you had a terminal illness or dementia, or you were on dialysis or in the hospital or in a nursing home or something like that. Also, just far too frequently, people call us up and say, hey, we had a loved one die this last week, and the body's at the morgue, and they didn't have any insurance and we don't have any money. So we want to get this insurance on them really quick so we can get the money to the funeral home. And we have to tell them that, the insurance companies don't allow us to offer insurance to dead people. And it's really sad in that situation. There's nothing we can do to help. And I guess just learn from their mistakes and get this insurance before you need it. And just don't put your family in that situation. So let's talk briefly about some of the 2-year waiting periods, because again, we specialize in first day coverage or benefits with same day low cost approvals. Let's take a look at one of the kind of more popular 2-year waiting period companies. And I say they're more popular just because they advertise like crazy on the television, which is probably why their insurance is fairly expensive, to be honest. But let's take a look here. Colonial Penn, they've got the $9.95 plan, right? And so many people that we talk to have shopped Colonial Penn and they thought they were going to get $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 worth of insurance for $9.95. And then they get in there and they get them their phone number and email address, and they start getting calls and everything like that. They find out that it's not. In fact, we're on their website right here. So male age 60 and $9.95. That is one unit of coverage. $9.95 would only buy $1,167. That is not even enough for a cremation these days, my friends. And the challenge with that is that's not enough today, and the policy wouldn't start paying out for another 2 years anyway. So if it's not enough today, it's not enough in 2 years, and you're just kind of just putting your family in a kind of a financial pickle. So we just really don't recommend it. It's, they can advertise $9.95, but it just really doesn't buy the coverage that most people are wanting. So let's go and find out what about $5,000 worth of coverage would be. Again, you can't buy $5,000 worth of coverage through Colonial Penn. You can only buy units, and therefore you end up with really interesting odd numbers. So let's take a look at this. So for $39.80, you can get 4 units. That's about $4,668. And, if that's what you're looking for, you can't get 5,000. You can only get an odd amount. If we went up and looked at five units, that's going to be over 5,000. That's kind of the challenge with the way they do it here. That's going to be 5,835. So let's go back to 4 units. That's somewhat close to $5,000. I know it's a little bit frustrating. That's what we kind of hear. Now, other companies out there that offer 2-year waiting periods, that would be like AIG, Gerber, Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha products, a 2-year waiting period. So we just recommend staying away from those unless there's just something massively critical or you really got some significant health problems. But let's come over and look at the quarter that you actually have access to this. And you'll be able to see all the same prices that we do in the companies and everything. We're very transparent that way. So we've got $5,000 right here. We've got a male, age 60. Let's go and click on this. We're going to get a quote. Let's come back and again, Colonial Penn is $39, so it's going to be over $40 if it were actually $5,000. Let's just see what kind of pricing you could get for first aid coverage and see if there's any money to be saved. So here we go. We're taking a look here. Male, okay, 63. Yep, everything's good. We come here and we go, okay, well, this is kind of interesting in that it shows Lumico is number 1, but they are actually not number 1. Okay, so let's take a look here. And if we look here, Lumico actually comes in at $21.67. We typically don't recommend Lumico. We don't work with them, and we just their underwriting's a little bit interesting from what we've seen in our experience. And here's a company we do work with, Trinity Life, $22.16. This is level coverage. That's first aid coverage. That's exactly what you want. When we're looking at companies, we always want to look at companies that are, you have a same day approval process, so it's not going to take days or weeks to get approved. And then we also want to take a look at how their long-term support is if you ever needed to make a payment or change banking information or anything like that. And we've found Trinity Life to just be amazing. Rarely do they get beat in price on anything. And here we're talking like it's maybe 40 cents difference. So we would definitely recommend upgrading to Trinity Life. Let's look at a couple other companies, see if anybody else is in here that advertises a lot. Let's go down. And you can see all of these different companies here. And in fact, if you go down further, you can see all the companies that aren't going to offer based off the state or the coverage or the age or anything like that. But here's a company here, Lincoln Heritage. Lincoln Heritage, great company. They only sell their own products. This is level first day coverage, but you notice they're charging $31, almost 32. Let's just round it up to 32. And the reason is they've got a program where when you pass away, they say they will call like 2-3 different funeral homes or something like that to shop around and get pricing. The challenge with that is you pay for it. You've got to pay extra money for that. So it's $31.72. Let's go back up here. And so 31. So it's roughly $10. Just I'm doing simple math here. Roughly $10 more. You're going to pay $120 more a year. If you live another 10 years, you're going to pay $1,200 extra, give or take. And the thing you need to ask yourself is, is it worth like $1,200 for somebody to make 3 phone calls? And there may be a little bit more involved in it than that. But bottom line, what we do is we provide a funeral and estate planning guide. You can fill that all out for your family. You can have all your wishes listed, and your family's going to know exactly what to do. You get a lower premium. Remember, when you pay a higher premium, you're going to pay that your entire life until your very last day, as long as you keep that policy. So there's no sense overpaying. So anyway, if you want a quote, just go to our website. We've got this quoter on most of our pages, just about all of them. So you can click on any page more or less on our website and get a quote. Also in the comment section here, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, we'll get you that special quoter. And then also in the comments here, we're going to have videos for a male 60-year-old for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, and $25,000. You can also call us directly at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. We look forward to helping you out with this. Until that day comes, you take care. We'll be here waiting for you. Bye-bye.